this is Cher, also known as Grinning Grandma, and I thank you for coming to my channel. Welcome, and I hope that you do like the information that we impart here to you, or we try to. My husband and I have been in this business now for over 20 years. We're in 7 different shops, and we have multiple booths in each shop. So yes, we do keep busy. And I also sell online. And I won't go into that for right now, though, because I just want to concentrate on the shops. For those of you who are thinking about getting into it and wondering if you can make it a business, yes, you can. You can, but keep in mind that if you want to make it a business, if you want to get income from this business, you have to treat it like a job. You can't just gather a few things and toss it in a booth and think that, yay, you are going to stop the world, you're going to change the world, because it just doesn't happen like that. I've seen an awful lot of people come and go in this business. I've seen people come in and say, I've got so much stuff, I just need to get rid of it. Well, that's fine, but can you get rid of it in a garage sale? Because that might be a better option. I One thing you need to consider is, let's say that you do put it in a booth, you do sell everything, then what? Do you have access to more merchandise? Because if you don't, keep in mind you have rent to pay for that booth. You probably have a contract. And if you don't keep up with your contract, or if you don't sell enough to make your rent, then a lot of times what happens is the mall owner ends up taking your merchandise and selling it for the rent that you owe. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing is, during this pandemic, I've seen a lot of people just drop out because they didn't have the merchandise. Well, you do have to have a lot of stuff behind you. And I don't mean that you have to have a cluttered house or anything like that, but you do need to have enough items that if something does happen, you can keep your booth and yourself going. Otherwise, you're just going to end up crashing and burning. So I wanted to point that out. But so many people and so many nice people think that they can do it, and they just can't. You can't just gather up a bunch of stuff and think that you're going to change the world with the excess that you have in your house, because it doesn't work that way. So the other thing is, when you do have a booth, I would say start small. Do one booth. Don't do two, don't do a double, just do one single booth and see how that works out for you. Uh, Check the malls. You don't want in any mall. We've been in several around here. I can guarantee you that. I think we've been in all of them. Some of them are just a whole lot better than others. Excuse me. And I'm not saying anything against the owners or anything like that. I'm just saying that sometimes there's a mall where maybe your best friend can do really well and you don't do crap. It just happens. But one thing that you can do before you commit to any one particular mall, uh, first of all, check the traffic. Go on, go see the stuff. How do I say this? Go visit that mall during the week and visit it on Saturday. Saturday is generally your most busy day of the entire week. Uh, but visit those and see how busy they actually are. I would not suggest asking the mall owner, "Do you do a lot of business here?" Because guess what? They're going to say, "Oh, we're busy all the time." Yeah. Uh-uh. No, that's not quite true. So you have to look for yourself. If you know someone who's a vendor in there, know someone personally, then they will probably tell you what to expect. And another thing you can do is travel through that mall, take a look at all the booths. What do they look like? Do they look like a pile of crap? Sorry. Uh, is it appealing? Does everybody have signs that say sale? That's not a good sign. Uh-uh. Um, if you ask why everybody's having a sign, chances are you're going to be told, oh, they're just wanting to get rid of the old stuff so they can bring in new stuff. Well, let me tell you, not everybody has all the old stuff all at once. If you have a mall and you see a lot of for sale signs or sale off, percentage off signs, chances are that particular booth is not doing well and they have to do a sale to be able to get their rent paid. So, do you want in that mall? Probably not. If you are in a mall and there's no advertising for the mall or nobody, people come in and say, gee, I didn't know you were here. Not a good sign either. Check their Facebook. Most places have Facebook pages and you can check it and see if they keep it updated regularly. That's important. Look at their social media. Look at the comments that people make. You can find out an awful lot looking at social media. And like I said, the pictures, see how often they post, because if they're not posting real often, chances are they're not doing a whole lot to try to increase the traffic for their mall. So, and if they say, oh, I don't believe in social media, oh my gosh, run out of there as soon as you can, as fast as you can. Get on those track shoes and zoom, just book. Showing my age here. Uh, let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, you're pricing things too. I'm not going to tell you how to price. Each region is different, and the best thing to do is just compare prices against other people in your booth. If you have something that's completely different than other people, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But I do check eBay a lot to see what's going on. I don't check listed. You can list you can list a can of Coke for $80. Are you going to get it? Of course not. Uh, so what I do is I check the completed sales. Completed will show you how many times an item has been listed before it's actually sold, and it will actually tell you to how much the item did go for. It just gives you a more reasonable look. So that's definitely what I would recommend. Stay away from the listings, though. Just don't look at those listings. Look at the completed, or if you want, you can separate it and, look at the sales. The thing is about the sales, you don't know how many items have been out there. You don't know how long it took for an item to sell. Completed will show you that type of thing. So that's what I would do. And I do depend on eBay more than I do on any of the other selling sites. It's the oldest around. I'm not saying it's the best. Uh, I'm just saying it's the one that I like to use, and it's the preferred way as far as I'm concerned. Um, okay, your booth itself, you want to keep it looking good. A lot of people like a kind of a sparse look, and they want it to look nice and pretty, which is great. I want mine to look nice and pretty too, but guess what? It doesn't really sell that well. What does sell is if your booth has a lot of stuff in it. You don't want people to be able to walk by your booth and take a look and see everything. You want them to go inside and poke around. If I mean, why? It's like it, it's like looking at a house, I guess. If if you just go by and you look at the outside and, it looks okay, why should you go in and no, that's not a good. Forget about that part. Anyway, you don't want people just to glance at your booth and know exactly what's in it. There's no need for them to go into it. If they look at it and they don't see anything that they need or want, they're going to go on. If they look in it and they see a lot of different items that are in there, they're going to know that you've got some hidden goodies somewhere. And they're going to come in, they're going to poke around. They like to dig. So keep that in mind. And also, when you do price things, add up your prices a little bit anyway. Make sure that you've got enough items in your booth to pay for your rent. Because let me tell you something, just because you have a wonderful looking booth and all kinds of stuff in it, it doesn't mean everything is going to sell in that booth. You can you can never second guess customers. I have seen all kinds of things, and people have said, "Oh, when I bring something in, they'll say, 'Oh, that won't last long.' And it's still there maybe a month later." You just can never second guess. That's one reason we have so many different booths, because we can at least trade things out and around and move things around, which is important. You want to keep your booth looking fresh. If it looks the same all the time and that mall that you're in has basically the same customers that come in all the time, guess what? They're going to look at your booth. They're going to say, "Oh man, this looks the same as it did the last couple times I was in. No reason to go in there." So, on they go to your neighbor's booth. So you need to keep thinking about that too. Also think about what you want to sell, and how you're going to stage things. Uh, we're in one particular shop that sells a lot of smalls. So, because we sell so many smalls in that particular shop, we have a lot of shelves that we put in there. And we always try to keep those shelves stuffed. Now, if you've seen my videos, you know that we don't always do a real good job of keeping those shelves stuffed. And when you're in 7 different shops, it's tough. Yeah. Our bread and butter right now in the shops is furniture, except for that one shop I just told you about. But for to give you an idea, the last week in February, we sold 3 bedroom suits, and a sideboard, I believe it was, out of one particular shop. Obviously, that shop, we sell a lot of furniture, not so many smalls, although we do sell some smalls. You have to have both in your booth. You don't have to have great big pieces of furniture. No, no, no. You can have little tables, side tables, just something to kind of make it look a little different and maybe a little homey. So even if you do sell a lot of smalls out of a particular shop. Also, you don't want to put all high dollar things in your booth. You've got to have those smaller items. You just you just have to. If people come into your booth and they like the way the booth looks, or let's say that they've met you and they like you, they want to take home something. Uh, so if you've got an item that's $3 and that's what they buy, fine. Better than no items at all. And it does add up. So, uh, I'll do this every once in a while and give you little hints and tips on what we've learned in our 20 years plus in these shops. Uh, and if you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe if you will. That's almost, well, no, both of them are really good. I don't want to say they're equally good. Both of them are really good. We need subscribers, of course. We always need the likers. So uh, we appreciate it. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, leave me a question or a comment. I'll be glad to try to answer it the best that I possibly can. So, thanks again. God bless.